Welcome to Behind the Beer, where we go behind the scenes to discover the people and roles of producing the product we all love, craft beer. Now, here is your host, Ernest Stevenson.
Thank you, Emily. We are here today for another episode of Behind the Beer at the brand new location of Lost Worlds Brewing. It's going to be uptown Charlotte. And today I'm with Jared Steele.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Doing
Good to see you again.
Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. We had quite the tragedy this week with the loss of Dan Wade from Wooden Robot Brewing, or brewery, who tragically passed away due to an accident. So we're going to miss him so much. He was such a great guy.
Yeah, in this community, you really see how everyone pulls together and has a love for everyone. Charlotte is coming along as a beer city, and to lose someone as important to our beer community, but not only to his family and to his newborn child and his wife,
yes,
and
absolutely.
the whole Wooden Robot community. It's very hits hard and makes you think about your own loved ones and what you're doing and everything. And even for myself, one of the first places that my wife and I, Laura, we went to in the South End is Wooden Robot when they first opened. So
nice.
It kind of reminded me of how long we've been together and how we enjoyed going to Wooden Robot. So we all send our love and prayers out to that to the Wooden Robot family and Dan's family.
Absolutely. Jared, tell us a little bit about your role with Lost Worlds.
Well, I am the director of retail for Lost Worlds Brewing, so that encompasses running both locations for Lost Worlds, the initial home up in Cornelius, that it's been open since 2020. Of course, one of those pandemic breweries that we have here in the Charlotte region, and overseeing the opening of the newest location here in the Midtown section of Charlotte in the Metropolitan. So we'll be hopefully opening that sometime in mid-March.
Okay, well, that was my next question.
Yeah, mid-March. We're not yet ready to put a number on it. Even though we're in here today, there's still a little bit of work to be done, but we feel pretty confident that we'll be mid-March. So hopefully by the time you're hearing this, we'll have a date on it.
Yep. Jared, what does a typical day look like for you?
A typical day right now is burning up the highway. I live in the Steel Creek area, and on any given day, I'm up and down 485 and 77 at least once or twice to get to Cornelius and back here to Charlotte before I head home. There's a lot of things that need to be figured out daily with the construction here in Charlotte. So got to be on site to answer a lot of those questions, but without forgetting about the fact that, we have the Cornelius, which is home. So making sure that the staff, I meet all the staff's needs for the daily operation of that location. So,
yeah. I wanted to ask you, we're starting to see, kind of a decline in craft beer, and you're starting to see some breweries that are closing. So it's refreshing to see a brewery in our area to open up a new location.
Yeah, I think from the business side, it is very difficult in this business. Beer and alcohol as a whole is readily available on any corner in any grocery store throughout the entire country.
Yes.
And so right now in the craft beer industry, we are hitting that 5 to 10 year stretch where leases is the biggest issue. for a lot of these locations, and landlords looking to get their next dollar, and they may be in it for a long haul, may not be in it for a long haul. But we just look at the growth of South End here in Charlotte, and how any little green patch of grass gets an apartment building. So they're not looking for businesses that may or may not add revenue. They're looking for long-term buildings that they're going to be able to do things in. So even for myself, back in September, I was looking for a new home for myself for working. And that was one of my questions that I had of some of the breweries that I interviewed with and spoke with is where do you guys stand on your lease? What are we looking at in terms of the long-term goal? I mean, it's I have a family. I need to, and this is the industry I'm in. So I needed to make sure that I was going somewhere where I felt comfortable and felt like I was going to be there for a while. And, we at Lost Worlds are very lucky to have a good location up in Cornelius and have favorable terms. And here in Charlotte, we were approached to open this up. So it's It's great. That we are doing what we can to make sure that we provide an experience that we know will resonate and keep the doors open for a long time. And the best thing is we make good liquid. So that always is key to that overall game. So
David, longtime brewer, and he made some award-winning beers that are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, our Vista is award-winning, Euchre is award-winning, and for me personally, DG makes great lagers, and Gossick, which unfortunately is we ran out of last month. It'll be coming back later on this year. Black lager, Schwarzbier, one of my favorite styles of beer, and it's easy drinking and but still get that malty flavor. So we make great liquid, and DG does a great job.
And you see the dark lager really surge as a preferred style in 2023. So
I think we're seeing, as with anything, we're seeing an overall growth in understanding of the craft beer. Doesn't mean that the haze craze is ever going away, but I think there is some room for some additional styles that people are going to start to enjoy. And lager is an easy drinking style that of course, it's probably the largest style of beer that is out there and drank. And so finding ways to make it tastier and for the crowd out there, between a nice amber lager or a red lager, or as we're getting into the spring and summer months, you're going to see more of the Mexican lagers and the Helles out there. We have both of those on track within the next month or two to be releasing.
You have excellent Helles too.
Oh yeah. Stennis is great, and had some the other day when it came during canning run. Came off the keg. Or I'm sorry, off the fermenter and bright tank, and 8 a.m. beer when it's ice cold is pretty darn good. I will admit that's one of those major perks of the job, being able to drink an 8 a.m. beer during canning runs. Quality check.
And breakfast.
Yeah.
What do people most misunderstand about you?
That I don't play football.
You did you ever play football?
No, I'd never played football either.
Size of an NFL lineman and has never played football.
It's one of those funny things that always, it's a question that I always get asked and everything like that. And I think sometimes what people misunderstand about me is that I'm a business person. I'm in this as my career choice at this point in my life. I did 20 years in insurance. So I was, sales and customer service and, that everyday haul. And kind of now, I'm in an industry that I enjoy and, I sell beer. And that's what I always try to, as stressed as things can always get, sell beer. And so, so it's kind of a misunderstanding of, that I'm in business and I'm trying to do my best in business and everything like that. So, to make sure that, I provide the best service, the best, product, and our best foot forward as a company to every single person that comes through that door. So yeah, I didn't play football, but I could probably tackle you. But
actually, for as long as I've known you, you've been selling beer. So I think I originally met you when you were at Carolina Beer Temple. Yeah.
So that's where I got my first start, at Carolina Beer Temple, and working for Rob there, who has Carolina Beer Temple over there in Matthews. And then unfortunately, we weren't able to make it. We made it through the pandemic, but it just never was able to get back off the ground. But to me, that was a lot of fun, because that's where I learned more beer. I love drinking beer and have been drinking beer for a long time. And I've never been one of those to just belly up on domestics since I started.
Right.
So my background, I played basketball. I went to school in Vermont. So in the mid 90s, I was drinking Magic Hat. Number 9 was my, constant. It was right there next to the apartment, their tap room in downtown Burlington, Vermont. So,
okay.
Number 9 is one of my favorites. But,
nice.
So I've always been a craft beer enthusiast and drinking something different than the normal domestics. So when I got an opportunity at Carolina Beer Temple about 5 years ago now, that was a lot of fun, because it's, just the constant different styles of beer and trying to find something that people love. And, I took it almost as a badge of honor, as when someone walked in the door to try and figure out what they would want to drink and everything like that. But that also gave me the opportunity to meet tons of people in this industry and in the Charlotte region. And, with all the different breweries that are wanting to come through the door between self-distro and using distributors, it would always allow me to meet more and more people and learn more and more about the industry. So it's what helped me get to where I am today, to be able to work at Lost Worlds.
Yeah. And we had some great times down there too. That was I've heard it both ways, but Airsley or Arsley?
Airsley. Airsley. It's funny. I even had the people that lived in there. Yeah. I think it was 50-50. Yeah. So yeah. Airsley is the way I always pronounce it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun there. And it's a section of the city that a lot of people live in. It's that whole Steel Creek area, which is very large. And so to have a dedicated craft beer down in that city, in that part of the city, is tremendous. And so it lacks in that part of the city. I think South Charlotte as a whole does not have enough craft beer in the city. But people will probably push back against that with another brewery stuff. But hey, this city needs it in every area.
But there's pockets. You got your South End brewers, you got your lower South End brewers, you got your Plaza Midwood brewers, you got your NoDa breweries.
Yep.
And they're all kind of right there together.
Yeah.
But you get down, outside of 485, and there's nothing.
Yeah,
on the south side.
Anyway. We got down there,
Middle
James.
Hill.
Yeah, well, we have Middle James in Pineville, and the new OMB on the horizon out in Valentine. But that is it. And then you got to cross the border into Fort Mill and Rock Hill to get some more. So if anyone's, this might be the third Lost World spot. I don't know. I'll talk to Dave about that. We'll see about that. Rivergate Lost Worlds.
There you go. All right. What do you consider as your biggest failure, and what did you learn from that?
My biggest failure, and it's kind of difficult that every time you leave a spot, you always think about things you could have done better, and it kind of hurt having to when Carolina Beer Temple shut down. I put a lot of lot of time and a lot of energy into that.
Yeah, you did.
And you know, those days of just working through the pandemic, of coming in at 8 o'clock in the morning and just doing things to keep the place clean and then selling beer for a couple hours to people and then just going home and doing the same thing over and over again, doing it all by myself at that time, to just know that it was just never enough.
Right.
And it took a lot out of me, and to know that, you know, it just wasn't enough. And you know, in the long run, you kind of look back at things and you're like, oh, was it a failure or this or that? You know, it didn't succeed, you know, was the good way to put it. And,
right.
You know, and so I probably could have done things differently in looking back at it. And so that's kind of one of those first initial things that hurts in this industry, you know, and seeing anybody close and things like that. It's always difficult.
Yeah. So what did you learn from that experience?
I learned that I need to bust my ass harder. And, but also I learned that, you know, there's sometimes only so much I can do. And, you know, and I got to rely on others to also help through the process and things like that. So as I've moved up, from, you know, being manager of locations to directing locations, which is, you know, there is a big difference between the two. For me, is putting my trust in the people that I hire and that work for me every single day, to be able to trust that they're going to get the job done,
right.
And in turn allows us to be successful.
The last episode, me and Mike Salzarulo were talking about the same thing. So that's one thing he's learning is to delegate. And, you know, let people do their job. And
especially when you have a large location like he has, it's just, you have so many different departments that you can't do everything. And you know, even that I'm finding with this is that, you know, I have a team in Cornelius. I have the start of a team here in Charlotte, and you know, being in brewery meetings, being in sales meetings, and, you know, then you have my daily meetings with the owner, Dave Hom. And it's just you know, every single day there's something, and I got to find time to make sure that things don't fall through the cracks. But I also have to make sure and put that onus back onto my staff of, hey, you need to be sure that you're getting these things done. I might not come back to you for a day or a week about it, but we need to make sure we're getting these things done.
Right. Awesome. All right. If you could be remembered for one thing in this industry, what would it be?
I would have to say being liked. And it's kind of weird. You know, do we do things to be liked, or do we do things to be successful? But I think in this industry, you know, being accepted and being liked, and having, you know, people that you either view as friends or view as, you know, colleagues, or view as, you know, just those in passing that have a respect for you and like how you get down and stuff like that. You know, there's, you know, one of the people that I turn to a lot in this industry, and we've become good friends, is Marcus over at Triple C now. And you know, him and I have grown a friendship over the years, from my time going into Sugar Creek, and we have an immense amount of respect for each other and what we've done. And so, you know, fostering those type of relationships, that's fun for me and key that in this industry. And, you know, I like to believe that, you know, I have a good reputation that I'm doing things the right way, and within this industry, and accepted through everybody's doors to come and have a beer with you.
Right. It's you know, throughout these episodes, there's two people that come up regularly, and Marcus is one of those, and the other being Travis Tolson.
Yeah, Marcus is just great. He's, you know, it's almost like kind of that cheers mentality of everyone's your friend, and, kind of when you walk in, and, sometimes I date myself using that cheers as the as the end all be all of all bar stuff. But, that's it's a testament to him. And, he's one of the first people I told when I got the job, and kind of likewise, he let me in on, ahead of time that what was going on with him and everything. So it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember receiving a phone call. I was like, he don't usually call. What's the best compliment that you've received since you've been in the beer industry?
I'm not as mean as people thought. Being large and being Black, sometimes that can come with some stereotypes. And so once people get to initially talk to me and figure out kind of a little bit about me, I'm very disarming in the way that I approach people and talk to people. And it's something that, I learned at an early age. I was, by the time I was in middle school, I was already 6'4". So, I was larger than teachers, larger than all the other students and everything like that. So, so, having the personality to be able to be disarming of people and so I get that a lot when in this industry behind the bar and out there among the people, and, they enjoy being able to have a conversation with me, and that I don't come off, as a mean guy and stuff like that. Because sometimes even Dave will tell me my face doesn't look as happy as I think I am. and that goes back to years of doing private security and concert security and stuff like that, where I'm, I might not have a happy face on, but I'm just looking at everything and seeing and looking through, looking at the crowd and trying to figure out what somebody may need, or if there's anything that I can do to help somebody and things like that. So, so if you ever see me and I'm not smiling, trust I'm smiling inside.
That's good. What's an insult that you've received that you're proud of?
That I'm proud of? Ooh, that's a tough one. I was looking at
insult.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a tough one to come up with. With that, it's, as we know, the industry as a whole is not a very diverse industry, and as we know, and so, kind of early on, I always got the "what do I know about beer" type of insult. And now, don't get me wrong, I am in no way an expert upon beer at all. I know enough to be dangerous in certain situations and stuff like that. And I'm constantly learning and evolving and stuff like that. So it was a lot of the, initially people looking at me as I have no clue what I'm talking about. And, it's kind of par for the course as craft beer industry as a whole. It's just struggling to maintain that diversity, to keep growing and keep evolving and everything like that. And, so I hope to assuage people's thoughts on that, but, you can only do so much. And, and I hope that more people will come into the industry and to help it change and help it grow and everything like that. So it's, the insult of being one of the only is sometimes a little tough to deal with. Okay. But again, it's something I've dealt with my whole life. So, so I'm pretty well versed in it, but it's something that I wish I didn't have to deal with all the time.
Absolutely. If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self some advice, what would that advice be?
Let's see here. There's so many different ways to go down that path. Well, a big thing. It's kind of funny now. Back to the football thing. One of those things that I think I could have probably played for a long time if I would have gone down the football path. But I love basketball, so basketball is what got me to where I am, and being able to get through college and play was important and important for my family. So it's difficult to say that I would go back and tell myself not to do that.
Right.
But I would say probably I'd tell myself to pay attention more. I got sidetracked into doing too many of the fun things in college and enjoying myself. And I think if I would have put a little bit more time and energy into certain things, it would have changed my path a little bit. But then sometimes, I have a great son that I had right after college in my first marriage, and so he's awesome, and he's now 22. So aging myself, but but yeah,
I know you had kids my age.
Yeah. so he's one of the best things that's ever happened in my life. So if I change things, does it come out like that? I don't know, but 18-year-old Jared could have probably done a couple things better.
All right. So tell me about the 3 most influential people that you've met in this industry and how they have affected you.
Well, number one, for me, where I got my start would be Aaron Gore. I worked for Aaron at Carolina Beer Temple, not knowing that when he hired me, it was to replace him at Carolina Beer Temple.
Hey, wait.
Yeah, it literally was about a 60-day window that he was moving on to the next chapter in his craft beer life. But from that start, Aaron has been a confidant of mine, someone that I turn to all the time. And it's funny that that time from Carolina Beer Temple, then on to my next one was also Aaron hired me when I was with D9 and in Bavana. So that was my next stop in the craft beer industry, and he hired me again. And even on this stop, he gave me glowing recommendations for going to Lost Worlds. So Aaron would be one of my, someone that I call a friend, and we trade texts all the time and everything like that. So second would be Marcus. Marcus and I have grown a good friendship through our time, and he does not get out to see me as much because of his young family and the children and everything. But I always, doesn't matter to me. I always try to get over to see him wherever he's at. And being that I live closer to the breweries that he's at, but now I'm in Charlotte, so he's going to have to come see me.
Yeah, absolutely. I also have to say that I met Aaron Gore at Carolina Beer Temple, and matter of fact, he's the first person I partnered with when we started doing videos with Behind the Beer. So we had Beer with Friends. He was on that, and he hosted the original Behind the Beer.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of those being in the bar at the time when they were being taped.
Yep. The craft course is what we were. Oh, the craft. Yep. Which might be coming back. So keep a lookout for a craft course. What is a common myth about your job or field of expertise?
I'd say sometimes people get confused or have the myth of that it's just, bartending. And, for me, the amount of time that I truly spend bartending is maybe less than 5% now. I don't do any day-to-day bartending at all now in this position, but I miss it at times. So I always joke I try not to get in the way of our bartenders, but I still know how to pour a beer and everything like that. But they think that this is just they think that the alcohol industry is just fun and games, and it's really not. This is the livelihood for many people in this industry across the country and across the world. We provide a product, we provide a service. It's we're not here to give away our product
right.
constantly and stuff like that. It's just, we're selling. You're not going to go and look for a free package of M&Ms. Why should, I have to provide a free, 4-pack of stuff,
right?
Type of thing. And so, it's a misconception that, that it's just fun. And, it's hard at times, getting home late, and back hurting from standing for a long time, or just the stress of how do we get more people through the door, or those things all add up every single day. And some days you're up at 3:00 in the morning, and and you're wondering how you're going to get that Friday night covered and make sure that we have enough people. And because if it's not covered, how are we going to be able to service the guests correctly? And so, that's important for everyone's experience. They don't think of how that, all that stuff is made in the background, and, making sure I have the right amount of people on every single day. So,
right. Well, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people, especially when it comes to alcohol industry, I mean, for them, it is fun. And, they're going out to loosen up and have a good time. So, yeah, I think that, a lot of people don't understand what goes in to you having fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of work and a lot of moving parts. And, it's, as with any job, we find enjoyment in it, and when we can, and everything like that. And,
right.
Like we make good friends in the industry and stuff like that. But, my job starts at 7 a.m. every single day, and I do most of my work before the place even opens.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of unfortunate now. People don't usually see me after 4:00, but I've put in a full day, and I hope, if you're seeing me after 4, that either means I'm doing an event, or we have something that I need to fix to make sure that we're doing it correctly. So, that doesn't, it doesn't mean I don't want to be out there, but, work-life balance. I love spending time with my wife and my dogs and everything like that. So,
what's the biggest challenge that, you're facing in your role now, and how are you tackling that?
That's an easy one. It's employees. I'm probably sure that some of the others have said the same thing, but it's finding enough people that want to do the job and want to show up every day. It's a lot out there to find the right employee for the job, or the enough people to do the job. Here in the Charlotte location, it's going to take me 25 to 30 people maybe to get this up and rolling, and to provide the quality of service that we expect from Lost Worlds. So to find that many people that want to do the job is difficult in this industry, and it's as with any industry, I think right now. So.
Yeah, I think throughout the entire hospitality industry, it's that way now. So, what is the most important lesson you've learned over your career in the beer industry?
The biggest lesson is humility, I believe. People have so many options. And even in, it's Charlotte region as a whole. I mean, we're talking 70 plus tap rooms and brewery tap rooms throughout this region within within an hour drive north or south. That's a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot. And so you got to humble yourself to understand what you're doing and how you're getting people through the door. And, there's a lot. It's just a lot to this industry. And, I enjoy it, and I enjoy that challenge every single day of waking up and how am I going to make this a successful day for the people that want to come in at 12:00 every day.
Yeah. Very good. In your opinion, what is the most important personality trait or strength that someone needs to have in order to be successful, either in your role or in the industry as a whole?
I think you got to be extremely thick-skinned and understand that people are who people are. In this world, I think people have been around long enough that we understand who people are and how people operate. You got your good ones, you got your bad ones, and that's how it just rolls.
And the older you get, the more you don't like any of them.
Yeah. I love everybody that walks through the door. but that's the thing is that, that's the face you have to put on is that, every single day, every single person that comes through that door, you're going to provide them the same level of service and care and concern every single day for every person. Now, don't get me wrong. Customer's not always right.
Yes.
But I'm going to do my best to ensure that I explain why they might not be right, but how I can fix it for them to make them enjoy and leave on a better level than what they came in. It's just, it's one of those things that I think my degree in elementary education has allowed me to have a better understanding of not of their children running around, of them running around the bar. So
I knew where you were headed.
It's different every single day, but it's having that thick skin to understand that you might not know what they're going through at that moment. So it's kind of take in what they're doing, take in what they're saying, and help correct them to make sure that you have a customer for life.
Nice. What is one piece of advice you give to someone wanting to start out in a career in the beer industry?
For me, I would say the best thing is to find the right situation. Not every job is the best job in the world. So you want to be sure that you're with an organization that cares, with people that hear you and that give you the ability to do what you're looking to do. And even for me at this point, that was one of the most important things back in September when I was looking for a new place to land. And I met with a lot of people and Dave was able to really hear and understand what I wanted to do and what I was looking for. And truly, he allowed me to develop my job and develop my position in his business. And even, it's something that you don't get to do every single day out there, but it was just important to me that people understood what I'm bringing to the table,
right?
And he was very receptive to that, and it's only been about 5 or 6 months, but it's been great.
Yeah.
We work well together, and and to say together is really important in this industry. So I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I'm providing success for his business, and in turn it provides success for me and moving forward.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a golden opportunity, for you to kind of create a position, and it's working out. So
it's working out great.
Yeah. Awesome. And I'm sure it's not only working out for you, it's working out for Lost Worlds as well.
I would hope so. I mean, it's, I hope to see everyone out here those first couple of weeks when we open up. You can't beat the location that we have, right here, overlooking the city, and being on the Greenway, and, it kind of encompasses what Charlotte's about, being outside and being able to live and enjoy in an area of the city. And we have almost 1,800 square feet of outdoor patio space that goes right into our over 4,000 square foot tap room, and 46-foot bar. And it's just, I can go on and on and on about how much I love this spot, and just being able to to put my stamp on something in the city that is going to have so much enjoyment to bring to people is cool. And just, honestly, it's really cool. It's I kind of say that, but not everyone gets to help mold and open up something. And, that was, this is huge. And, it's awesome.
Nice. And I absolutely love this kind of indoor to outdoor. We're kind of sitting in what will be the tap room out to the patio, and you have these large folding glass doors.
Yeah, the nano doors as they're called.
Okay.
Yeah, nano doors.
I knew there was a name for them, but I couldn't think of what it was.
So we have I believe it's about 60 feet of accordion style doors that open up and just allow the inside to outside. And you can even hear some of the horns in the city in the background, so it makes you understand that this is a true spot and everything like that. So you got the what's fun is that we have two of our biggest neighbors are Target and Trader Joe's. And those are two of the most successful Targets and Trader Joe's in the entire country.
Oh, wow.
So this is a space in an area where people are going to come to. And I always joke that, if my wife tells me that, we're going to go to Trader Joe's, and I'll be like, I really don't want to do that. But if I'm going to be promised a beer at the end of going to Trader Joe's, I'm here for it. Forget a $2 chuck. Let's go over. Let's go to Trader Joe's and grab a beer at Lost Worlds after we're done.
There you go. Awesome. And also from here, I can see what I call the jukebox building. We used to be First Union. Then I think it was Wachovia. I have no idea what it's called now.
It was, I think, Bank of America at some point, and Duke. And I mean, there's just, you got everything out there. Just, it's, I can go into a lot about the growth and the changes of the city and how it's how it's growing. So we'll be right next to a place called the Pearl, which is a joint venture between Atrium and Wake Forest University. So there'll be 10 buildings in total, and innovation and medical schools. So it's another built-in group of that we want to be able to attract to our location. Some of the fun things is that, we're in between two of the more established Black communities in Charlotte. So we have the Cherry Park neighborhood to one side of us, and then the Brooklyn Village neighborhood to the other side of us. Brooklyn Village was an area that was raised and just totally demolished back in the 60s to allow for the growth of Charlotte, and just displaced many Black people in this community. So to look at the revitalization of that area, and Cherry Park being one of the oldest Black communities in the Charlotte area, hopefully people are coming and wanting to enjoy and be a part of the community, and we want those people to also feel like they have a spot here, and that a tap room in a brewery is supposed to be a community space. They're meant to build communities around. And so whenever I see people push back in the comments of, another brewery, my thing is what would you want there that is going to be able to bring people in that area together? We try to provide products for everybody, drinks for everybody. And it doesn't mean we're always serving alcohol. We, sodas and juices and kombucha, and, there's everything available when you come through the door. And so what we're trying to provide is an environment that you can meet your friends and you can have a good time. And that's what breweries and tap rooms are supposed to be. And that's what they are throughout the entire country. So, yes, I will continue to push back against those people that are, that push in the comments. It's just go out, enjoy yourself. You just sit down and just look at the skyline and enjoy a cold one, or enjoy a soda with your friend. And, it's a place that you're gonna find that you'll go back to, and it's just a lot of fun.
Right. Historically, these tap rooms, there was shortened to be called the pub, but it was the public house, and it was a community space where a lot of community business took place. So,
I mean, it's because it's a space where you're not supposed to have stress, and a space where you can be accepted. And, nothing is better than being able to have a chat or just have peace and quiet over a nice cold one. And that's kind of how I view it sometimes. And, you can do that in your backyard, but, sometimes you like to people watch. And out here where we're at, right on the Greenway, there'll be a lot of people watching for you if you come sit out here on the patio.
Yeah. Awesome. What's one lesson your job has taught you that you think everyone should learn at some point in their life?
You're not always right. No matter how much that I do. And a lot of times I think to myself, oh, we got to do it this way. We got to do it that way. Well, you know what? I don't know everything. And so I have to also listen to the others that have experience and have an understanding of what we're doing. And so my idea, which I think might be awesome and the best idea that's ever been had, may have been done already or may not work because the logistics of it aren't there. So trying to, understand that I'm not always right and I got to listen to others and take what people say and work with that. So.
Right. Nice. What's one thing about your job that almost no one else agrees with you about?
I would say that I'm not grumpy. It's kind of weird that I say that. Is that, I wouldn't say as much as the staff doesn't agree about it, but, they know they a lot of times say I'm grumpy, and it's not to, again, probably that where I don't smile enough, but my gruff is to where I don't want to accept mediocre. I don't want to accept, well, that's how everyone's doing it. Let us do that too. And that's just, I don't want that.
Yes.
I never strived for that when I was playing sports, and I'm not striving for that in business. It's like, how can we be better? What can we do to differentiate ourselves? Because again, to that whole fact of that there's so many different choices people can make.
Right.
Well, I got to make sure that they make the choice for us, and getting people to understand it and that work for me. That, hey, if you're doing this and you're doing this correctly and you're providing this level of service, you're creating a customer that's going to come back and continuously want to be a part of it. Because, for good, bad, or indifferent, this industry is built off of tips. And for you to be able to make the money that you believe that you want and believe that you are due, you have to provide that level of service to that person to make them want to give you more money on top of what they're just paying for the product. So.
Right. Awesome. And that is so true. Being part of an organization for many, many, many years, that I used to always tell my team, I'm like, yes, apparently we are striving for mediocrity. We're not there yet.
I always say, if I'm going to hold myself to a certain level I need to hold everybody else to that same level. And it's just, if you, like you said, if you're striving to just be number 2, then, then you're probably going to end up number 4 or 5.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's your favorite productivity hack for your role?
Honestly, I'm becoming a true believer in ChatGPT. Kids. For me, writing has never been one of my strong suits. It just never has. I'm creativity, and from a mental standpoint, I think I have a lot of creativity and a lot of ideas in my mind. But being able to use ChatGPT to help write some things for me and some scripts and how I want things done and notes for meetings and things like that has become a lot easier for me, and being able to get things done quicker. I have a finite amount of time that I can get things done before I have to move on to the next, and being able to find a couple minutes that I can just put towards one thing and know that it's done, and it's going to spit it out with the correct grammar and and the length that I want it to. It's even, I tell people that are dealing in social media, use ChatGPT. It's going to help you to provide a quicker way of writing the script for your social media and putting that out. It's all about providing what the algorithm needs. And so the algorithm's a computer, and I not use a computer to fight the computers. And next thing you know, we're in the middle of a computer war, and Skynet is running everything.
Yep. So I came from a writing background, so there's actually a lot of writers in my family. But even having that background in writing, I still use those AI tools, because I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's better.
And as with anything, someone's invented a tool to make your life easier and provide you with something. It's not like I'm going to go out here and invent a shovel to go dig my yard.
Right.
Someone's already invented it. I'm going to go buy it and use it. And so, I just look at it as another tool to help me do my job better.
Absolutely. What underrated tool or tools is indispensable for your job?
Honestly, for me, it is my Google Calendar and being able to keep everything straight from my family life and what I need to do on that side to work. Having 2 locations to oversee and the different meetings that I need to have with the different departments, and then also the events that we run on a daily, weekly, monthly basis is the only way I can keep track of all that is in my Google Calendar and know where I need to be. I was here for a meeting yesterday morning, then on to the ABC store to pick up liquor, and then from there it was back to the brewery and a couple of meetings, and then finished out the evening doing a guided wine tasting that I'm the host of at our Cornelius location. So that was a very long day, and to then get back home at 10 o'clock. So, but without having all that stuff in my calendar to keep me straight and making sure my wife knows where I am from that point is it's very key to help me do my job.
Right.
And it also helps my staff know where I'm at, and if they have any questions, or I can wait, Jared's going to be here in a little bit, and get that, and we can talk about that. So it's using the calendar to keep your life straight is important to me in that.
Yep. Awesome. If you could start a business tomorrow, what would it be?
I would say, honestly, I talked to one of my good friends a lot, is that I think it's from the standpoint of what we want to have a business doing is this just a nice, cool, chill spot to enjoy some drinks and smoke some cigars. That's honestly, we've been talking about that for a couple of years now. And I think more or less that's probably just for us to be able to to enjoy and have a respite from things. But I think we have that mentality of that, if this is something that we want to do, and we see them popping up around here in the city and everything like that, and how you could do better, and is just a chill spot to, it doesn't have to be loud music, just nice chill spot that you're going to enjoy and smoke some cigars with, 1 or 2 pals, or even by yourself, and not feel stressed or anything like that. And, and so it wouldn't be in the business to make millions, just in the business to be happy, I kind of, one of those things I said to myself probably almost 15 years ago now, is that I decided that money can't be the driving factor in my life and what I'm doing and how I'm enjoying myself. I've been married now for almost 4 years coming up, and being in this second marriage and the second relationship in my life, I found to be very calming for myself, and just finding someone that we enjoy the same things, and we understand each other. And that's kind of the key. I kind of veered off on the question, but it's just a lot of those things for me just can't be money driven. And so any business that I would be looking at would be, how does it bring enjoyment and, down the line and enjoying, and some, if I'm 60, 65 and just being able to, kick back and relax, and, maybe it's down, in the Hilton Head, Savannah area where wife and I have talked about retiring to. And, and as that's not that far away as I see the gray in my beard every single day when I was shaving this morning. It's just, it's getting there.
Yeah. I'll say I highly recommend retirement.
Yeah.
It's awesome. What occupation other than your own would you like to try?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I see a lot of stuff that I know I don't want to do every single day.
What all these guys are doing in
here. Sometimes that manual labor definitely not it for me, and stuff like that. I would say it's kind of weird, but sometimes I think about being a truck driver, and just being on the open road, but not having to drive a truck in the Northeast, not having to drive a truck in the mountains in the West. So I probably would just be good driving from like Iowa to Idaho every single day. I just a nice open road and just chilling and stuff like that. And, enjoying your peace and quiet, and as being able to do a job and stuff like that, and and just pulling up to a gate and saying, all right, you guys take your stuff and I'll go on to the next spot type of thing. Just easy life.
Awesome. This being an alcohol industry, what safeguards does Lost Worlds have in place to make sure that staff members are not becoming dependent?
I think we're one of probably the only places that doesn't do a shift beer. We provide our staff with the ability to drink our product, through different ways of our compensation, but we're not looking to have our staff belly up to the bar 5 minutes after they get done with the shift and drinking. That is for some places to do, and they may feel that's best for them, but
I think most do that.
Yeah. and it's just something that that I was at other places where that was done, and being somewhere where it's not, I appreciate that. Because one, I enjoy being able to come to the brewery and go to the Lost World location up in Cornelius. And a lot of times when I do that, that's going to be with my wife to enjoy some beers and things with that. But after I'm done working, I want to ensure that our staff is taking care of themselves and getting home and not worried about, how can I get, I want to drink a beer or, the type of thing. I think, and that adds to providing a good work-life balance for those employees, and that, you're done with the day, go home, go enjoy your family, go enjoy your dog, go your cat, you've put your time in at work, and it's time for you to go home and enjoy yourself. And, and sometimes I think you might think to yourself, well, I got a shift beer, I got to drink my shift beer. If there's no shift beer to worry yourself about, then you're gonna move on to the next thing and stuff like that. So I think that that's something that I enjoy that we don't do in our industry.
Okay, yeah, that's very interesting. What are the 3 best beers that you've had in the past year?
Ooh, in the past year. Okay. Let's see here. One of my favorites always is the double from Sugar Creek.
Yes.
No matter what year it is.
Yeah.
I enjoy that beer.
Always solid all
the time. It's a go-to whenever and that's one of the reasons that the wife and I, we love going to Sugar Creek, because it's, great beer, great, all the time for when we go there. Another one is that I tapped back into some of my beer cellar, and I had a peanut butter narwhal from Sierra Nevada.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I hadn't had it it's been 3 years that had been sitting in there, and that was tremendous.
Yeah, that's probably about the right time to open that up. Yeah,
it was. I mean, everything had, the alcohol burn had fallen off of it. It was just nice and smooth. Especially as I've reduced the amount of stouts that I've been drinking. To be able to go back to that and enjoy. And honestly, just, it's not shilling, but to the side, but our black lager, our Schwartz beer. I've tried a lot out there. Duck Rabbit had a great one this year. But as a daily drinker, a black lager, I loved ours, our Gossick, and that was tremendous. And to be able to drink that every single day. So, those were my 3 tops for this year.
Nice. Very good. All right. Is there any question that I didn't ask that you wish I would have?
Honestly, probably not, because I talk a lot. I honestly never thought of myself as a talker a lot, but I like getting on the mic, and sometimes, and it's an easy flow, easy conversation. So.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Where can people find you online?
On social media, it is at Steele Craft Brew. Maybe someday, hopefully, I'll brew my own stuff. So that's Facebook and Instagram and TikTok for all the kids that may be listening out there. So that's the spot to find me. And most of the time, it's a lot of my dog. But I should say dogs. Yeah. But those. But you'll find some of the always posting about some of the good beer that I'm drinking with my wife on our travels throughout the Southeast. So.
Awesome. All right, remind us one more time when this new location you expect to have it open.
Lost Worlds Charlotte. We hope to be open sometime in mid-March, but we'll probably do the big grand opening stuff towards the end of March, beginning of April, as we get into the spring months. So come check us out. We're here in the Midtown section of Charlotte, the Metropolitan, right on the Sugar Creek Greenway. But you can always come up to Cornelius, North Carolina. It's not that far up, only exit 28 off of 77. So come and see us up there. And we always have something great going on up in Cornelius with our markets, and just a great time up there.
Cool. Well, Jared, thank you so much for being on this episode of Behind the Beer. This should be episode 10, so hitting double digits.
All right, I appreciate it. Congratulations on episode 10, and I hope the people give it a good listen. Well, at this point, you've already heard it, so thanks for listening.
Yes, thank everyone for watching or listening, and join us again very soon for another episode of Behind the Beer.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Behind the Beer. Please rate and review us on your favorite listening platform. Subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/@behindthebeer. If you would like to be a guest on Behind the Beer, email us at behindthebeer2020@gmail.com. Behind the Beer is produced by BWM Productions.